Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about this market. It's a pivotal weekend. Let's find out why. So hi, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell button, like, comment, all kinds of good stuff. Now, this week, month end, whatever you want to describe it as, is interesting. On the screen you can see here, should be a very interesting weekend for Bitcoin market. A big amount of expiries are coming. A big drop already happened, and we're going to talk about miners, potential sell-offs there. We're also going to talk about what I've just explained on the screen in terms of the expiries, and also possible distribution confirmed and where people are looking, and I'll give you my overall thoughts on the market. I personally feel that it's going to be a bit doom and gloom for a bit. I think there's no demand, basically, simple as that. Let's talk about it. So, first things first is obviously this tweet here is really good information by Cold-Blooded Shiller. Really good information in terms of reaccumulation distribution of the market, and I will highly suggest you check out certain things on Twitter, right? I don't recommend it all the time because a lot of people are pretty rubbish in terms of like just shilling your crap. I'm not going to mention the Moon Boys, but in terms of some degree of information and knowledge, if you're looking at who are experts in the field of volume, understanding how the flow works in terms of that miner flow as well, there's all kinds of information you can draw upon that. So make sure you are getting a good little bias of what people are really saying. A lot of people do say, oh, she's going to go to the moon, oh, it's going to do this, without any sort of data essentially to back that up. Then you can kind of disregard that. But a lot of accounts on here, they know their stuff, and you should definitely look at them and weigh it up in consideration. So what he's basically saying is, main element is there's rise in demand, right? But only underneath where we are, right? Simple as that. Would indicate that the distribution's above, there's no demand for it. That's why we've been rejecting the 10k levels all the time. But people are breaking down and feeling that 7k is not going to be the floor. It could potentially go lower than 7k, which does kind of make sense when you look at these images. Now, these images are not clear, concise. It's kind of hard to tell and what to look at. But that's just Twitter, by the way, because it's all blurry. But when you look at where things have been and where things are, it's going to get very interesting where the data flow goes. So as you can see here, distribution levels, give or take, and where we've been holding all the time, reaccumulation, distribution, like the whales have just been playing, as simple as that. So really clear, concise, rise in demand in and around this region. But when this does break, boom, bang, there will be a massive void in and around this region where there'll be no flow, and that's where bulls will get taken by surprise by the bears and they will ambush. So this leads me to this. BTC derivatives continue to grow despite light spot trading over the last 2 months. Now this is where things are getting interesting. What this means is, I've spoke about this before, the open interest of derivatives, exchange platforms, you know, your BitMEX, your Bybit, your FTX, etc., right? People playing with money they don't have, trying to make money in the markets. The same in the stock market, we're seeing that all the time. Yeah, it's interesting. This is a problem. Over $1 billion is set to expire across all the major exchanges, according to data provided by Screw. This is indication that this expiry, if they are a losing trade, will they wipe it, will they liquidate it, or will they continue to go on with it? If they're in a losing position, and if they are short, and they have been short for a while, or they've been long and they've kind of underwater essentially from anything above 9k, for example, it could get very interesting. Then you've got all kinds of stuff here in terms of how it kind of works. These are huge orders, by the way, huge orders, and look at the open interest on that graph. It's pretty scary. So this would indicate potential volatility coming this weekend with that expiry. Weekends always give a bit of drama. What we already know in terms of volume is above 9.5, you could probably argue. There's not much demand for it to go higher as it stands. There's no real flow of volume on spot. If there's a bit of a panic and a little bit of a rumble in the markets due to the open interest on the leverage platform, and that triggers liquidation, stop losses, all kinds of stuff, people will probably sell. Probably the miners. as well. So we're going to come around to that in a second. But in terms of a little bit of evidence of this, we've seen this before. We've seen smashes like this before. We've seen some big rumbles, and you've got to look at the chart, and we'll go over the chart at monthly ends and see where things do align. But for me, I think this is pivotal in terms of the life cycle of where we are right now in this sequence of range movement. For me, if you're trading leverage and you're in a position on a short and you've been in a position for a while, you'll probably be okay. If you're looking to short though, in and around this region, it's probably going to be very, very risky due to the volatility. So if you are going to do it, low leverage. If you are going to sit out, just wait and chill. If you are an investor and you're waiting for a good buy opportunity, again, wait and chill. I personally feel that we're going to go low to go high again. Simple as that. We've got to retrace, and I'll come on to that in a second. But the one thing as well, this final bit here, we observed, now this is on the 24th, by the way, a few days ago, a massive move in the miners transfer. 2,650 BTC, and there's more coming. There's been some massive moves in the last 48 hours of huge movements, not to mention Plus Token as well. Plus Token have been moving a load of stuff around, like they're criminals, by the way, just to give you an insight. So there's definitely rooms to think, well, why is this moving? Why are they selling? The one thing with the miners that we already know is the difficulty adjustment is really high on Bitcoin, meaning it's quite expensive. The short-term gain would be to pump Bitcoin. Yay! They'll make money. But the long-term pain of that situation is simple. The difficulty adjustment will increase further, making it more expensive. It needs to correct. So, you got all kinds of information coming through. The mining outflow, it's pretty interesting to look at it. And miners will probably dump a little bit on the market. Sorry that. It's just the way it works. It's just the way it happens. And you can see here, all this kind of information here, it's really, really good information to understand that this is increasing. This is increasing quite a lot in terms of the flow, and you can see here when it does happen. So keep a massive eye on what moves are happening in the market. If you're interested in that sort of stuff, check out Whale Alerts. You'll see it. You'll see exactly where things are going. It's pretty interesting. So in terms of my overall thoughts, right, you've probably seen this chart a few times of mine. Really, really simple. This, in my eyes, is a great wall. This is a great wall of Bitcoin, where it's like a massive bear zone of an ambush. Bang, get down. So I personally feel that we are going to go down to this lower liquidity zone, down to 5,000 to 4,000. I also feel that these valid ranges all the way down to 2,000, which is probably quite scary for people to hear. But they are valid. They are valid if things go really, really shit. I don't think it's going to happen though. Personal opinion, not financial advice. I personally feel that we are going to retrace quite a chunk of this move. It wouldn't shock me at all. Now we're going to go body to body on this level. Now this whole region here, this 6-7 region, 7-2 region, basically this region here, right? Simple as that. We're going to box it off. This whole region I think will be tasty. I think that'll be the one where if you are looking to go a short in a low leverage short position and you're looking for an entry or an exit, that is probably where you probably exit and jump on the next train, potentially. I think that will be a really, really interesting area. However, that being said, we've got a global pandemic right now. We've got all kinds of money issues. We've got fake money coming in and all kinds of weird stuff happening. That could upset the apple cart a little bit. We could go even lower. We could also spring from these ranges and fuck off to the moon. Simple as that. So, long term, I am bullish, right? Obviously. But short term, I think we've got to correct. And this move has to correct at some point. We've not corrected enough. Not even close to a correction of the highs. Simple as that. We've not even touched the sides yet. That is vitally important that you understand that as a trader, as an investor. What goes up does come down. What goes down is usually healthy for the market, a natural correction, people taking profits, having a breather, and then off it goes again. But the fundamental key is fake money is coming through the markets. Cool, that's good for Bitcoin. The bad thing is it's very, very expensive to mine. That element of correction will probably have to happen at some point. This could be it. This could be the time where futures expiries, quite a lot of them. Mining, very, very expensive. Global pandemic, second wave, potentially a bit of fear in the market. This could come down. So overall advice would be simple. Just chill. Chill out. If you're an investor, wait for the lows. There's always opportunities. There's always opportunities. You could see a very, very cheap Ethereum coming up very, very soon if this dumps. Put it out there. Overall, though, if you are trading low leverage or no leverage at all, just be careful. Don't get caught out. There's been so many warning signs, been so many videos of mine that have been saying that this isn't looking good. And we've been in and around this range for a long time, since the start of May. Interesting.